Hello, good evening, welcome. Evening, Kelsey Love, Dom, Clary, Noxie. Hope you're all well. I am, I'm cracking. I say that every week, I'm cracking. Well, there you go. Just watched the England match. I think they've started a new thing here on football. They've started playing. They've started playing walking football. Love it. Like watching paint dry. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd have a bit of a shape tonight. Well, I had it this morning, but yeah, I can't have no updates because the boy hasn't been in touch at all. So I can't give you any updates. If there's any updates, I presume, I was going to say Clary, but I presume Kelsey might put it in the chat. So what we're going to talk about, folks, because there's no updates and I can't sit and talk about that 90 minutes of football I've just watched. Am I saying that? Germany's on at 8 o'clock. They're playing. That might be a better game. You never know. So, weather's cracking again today. It was a little bit cold this morning. I got me, I got my copy and stuff and went outside to read a couple of chapters of my book, and I only got to the bench, turned around and come back in. It was bloody freezing, so I didn't get outside today. Sat inside all day, contemplating my navel, as I do sometimes. But hopefully everybody's good. 89 days, getting quick, isn't it? Getting quick. What a stupid statement. Getting quick. It's flying by. It's absolutely flying by. So it's getting to that stage where I've got to decide about packing all his stuff up and going it back to his mum's for him. It's all ready. It's just needs packing up, I suppose, is the right word. But yeah. So anyway, come on. I got in touch with one of my, I don't know what you could, one of my area managers when I used to have the pub company. I thought I'd just, because I can't remember all these pubs we used to have, occasionally some pop into my head and some pop out and whatever. And somebody will say, oh, what was that name of that pub you had? And I can't ever remember the name. So I got in touch with, on Facebook and said, hope you can help me because my mind's gone blank and I can't remember the pubs we used to have, where they were. Well, I can remember where, I just can't remember names. And yeah, she came back and said, well, I don't remember them all, but I remember a few. So she sent me a list of a few she can remember. And then, of course, once she'd sent me the list, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, that was that one, and that was that one. And I know on a couple of occasions where I've spoke, and I don't know if it's on Sunday nights or whether it's on my Monday nights with Bobby, but a couple of nights where I've spoke about having a pub up north in Washington. And I always thought it was Washington. And apparently it wasn't. It was a place called Dipstick. I don't even think it's called Dipstick. It might be called Dipton. But, and I thought, well, how can I not remember that? But there you go. Oh, nice, Clary. So is it? Have you put in a request for the weekend, or is it a midweek? Do they get things on midweek? I don't know how it all works. Do they only have visits on the weekends, or can they have them any day? So, Clary, Dipton is 5 minutes drive from us. So, it might not be Dipton. It might not be Dipton then. Because, well, saying that, I don't know where you live, Clary, so it could be Dipton. It'll come to me in a minute. Well, I can look on my list. If I can find it, I've got a list on my computer somewhere. And you just forgive me while I just have a look and see. Do you know, it's so complicated. It's my what do you call it, structure. It's ridiculous. There we go. Yeah, it is Dipton. So the pub was called Grey Horse at Dipton. And apparently it's closed now. So it's I went onto the website to have a look to try and refresh my memory about it. And the picture doesn't jog my memory at all. But it did say that the Grey Horse at Dipton is shut. So there you go. And I'm not sure how far Dipton is away from Washington, but I can't understand why I thought it was Washington. But there you go. And there was another one in the middle of, I was going to say Middlesbrough, but it's a little bit outside of Middlesbrough. And, you know, it's one that just popped in my mind, and it's not on my list. But anyway, it's I'm getting round to it. So what I've started to do is to start writing a little bit of history about the pubs I used to have, and you know, and some of the stories. Some of the stories I have from the pubs, because I've got quite a few little stories that I think are quite funny. Other people might think we're a silly twat, but there you go. But yeah, I think overall, I think we had about 30 pubs overall over the period of time. Over 5-6 years, I think it was. So yeah, so you better get your names down for this book I'm going to write, because I'm not going to be giving it away. It'll be a bestseller. They'll be making a bloody movie. The Grey Horse in Dipton is still open. It's 9 minutes away. Well, are we looking at the same pub? Because I looked on is it a white place? I've got a photograph. I looked. I think that must be a really old photograph, because it looked a bit of a shithole. But yeah. I don't know, anyway. It was somewhat to fill a couple of minutes, I suppose. So, Clary, limited dates. Hopefully we get Saturday or Sunday, but if not, I'll have to skip work on Friday. Right. So does that answers my question then? He can have visits during the week. Now that he's at this Cat C prison, I'm supposed to be updating everybody else, and I'm asking bloody questions. What a twonk. Now that he's at this Cat C prison in Doncaster Way, how many visits does he get? How many visits is he allowed a month now? Because I know it won't be endless visits. I suppose it'll be you can have this one a month or two a month or whatever. But 4 visits a month. Oh, that's not bad. 4 visits a month. 1 a week. That's quite nice. And the other question then, Kelsey, how many people can go on a visit? And it's not a quiz question, darling, so so there you go. I'm sat here like a twonk waiting for you to reply. What a twonk. What a dipstick. Up to 3 adults. Oh, that's good. That's 12 people he could see in a month. That's quite good, isn't it? Someone just popped in my head and popped straight back out again. Typical. It'll come back to me in a minute, I think. It must have been something about the visits. Yeah, they're a bit slow on updating their phone records because I still haven't had a call from them saying, will you... Oh, I've forgotten how they do it, but I think they phone you up and say there's somebody in prison who wants to phone you. Are you this, that, and the other, and whatever? So, by the time they get my number on his wish list or whatever he calls his list, he'll be coming home. Now, here's another question then, Kelsey, you might be able to answer. Don't know if I'd be surprised if anybody else can, but Kelsey might be able to. Has he got his... I know he won't have got his phone back in Nick, but has his phone been returned to his base of operation? Because it wasn't a cheap phone, was it? And I presume now he's done his time or whatever, or I presume you get your stuff back. They don't keep your bloody phone. Don't keep the evidence. I presume. I'm going to have a sip. I was having a quick sip, a quick slurp, because it's got gin in it. It doesn't really, but there you go. Evening, Bobby. Nice to see you up and about, mate. But, yeah, I can't, like I say, he's, right. Well, that's a bit of a bugger, isn't it? Why? There must be something about that, not getting his phone back, because it's not, I don't know, really. I think I'd get my gob going, quite honestly. It seems a bit of a shitty thing if they don't give you your phone back, because why would they want to keep it? Anyway, Black Queen, good evening. Hope you're well. I presume the sun's been cracking the pavements where you are. It has here this afternoon. Well, it's just greyed over a bit now, so it might be turning into one of these thundery storms we're getting. Might not, I don't know really. But I'll just go back to Bobby. I can't give you an update, Bobby, on the boy because he's not been in touch. Hoggy boy, good evening. Yeah, so he's not been in touch. I did send him an email last weekend and said, there you go. don't answer this one, just use it as your getting in touch thing. But I didn't get it. I haven't had an email. So everybody else seems to get them. I don't. All the things. Don't write. Don't phone. What's that all about? Yeah, I'm glad, Black Queen, it's nice. And if it's been nice, I presume it's been bloody busy. You know, that was the thing I hated about when I lived in Brid. Not when I used to have the pubs in Brid. It was only when I lived in Brid. Summers full of people. So you couldn't bloody do anything because it was all full of bloody idiots. When I got older, it didn't make any difference because the more you had in, the more money you took in the pub, which was what we were there for, basically, because the summer in the pub trade in Brid got you through the winter. If that makes sense. Makes sense to me anyway. At weekends, emails aren't delivered. Really, they got mine because I sent it last week. So they definitely got mine. There you go. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that that's the reason I can't update, because I haven't heard anything. And Gilly, good evening. And I'm getting stuck for words because my mind's going round in a circle at the moment. I presume you can see my eyes going like that while my brain's trying to catch up. I've even forgot where. Yeah, I was talking to Black Queen about being at the seaside. Yeah. So summer when I was young was not that cracky because it was full. Whereas summer when I was older was great because it got you through the winter. So there you go. But also, when I was young and I used to carry cases and stuff like that on a Saturday and Sunday, it was good. In summer, you didn't carry cases, of course, in the winter, because no bugger would be coming through to Brid for a winter break. No such thing as a winter break in Brid. You'd be off your rocker to go there in the winter. It's like a ghost town. But, yeah. Ghost town. Anyway, people, don't know what everybody's doing this week. I'm quite busy this week. I've got, as you all know, I do my family tree, but I also have an online archive of everything, where, you know, little stories you can, if I remember a little story about, I don't know, my Auntie Pat or Uncle Tom or whatever, I make a note of it and I can put it into the archive, so it's there for posterity, you know. So people, the younger generation, as they come through, will have access to this online archive, and they'll be able to see the silly little stories that I'm putting in, because yeah, Gilly, you want pissed, was you, by any chance? Well, no, not on Wednesday morning, I suppose, unless you're I nearly said something wrong then, but there you go. Do you know, my brain just went, oh, there you go. I hope you're okay. Do you know, back in the day, I've had a few Grey's knees. But They never ate. So there you go. Anyway, what I was on about? Yeah, my archive, and what I find about my sometimes I get a little bit disappointed, because I'm so passionate about my family history and the tree and all, all and the stories and all that. And there's nobody else in the family out there who are that passionate, if you see what I mean. So I'll give them an opportunity, going here, going there, or and it just seemed, I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? So I was sat last week, as I do sit, because I sit a lot. Well, you do when you're doing bugger all. And I thought, what would get the younger end interested in finding out shit, about their family and their ancestors and their Uncle Bob and Uncle William and Grandad Joe and all those type of people. And the answer I came up with was an app. They had an app on the phone and they just pressed it and it got them into it. Well, the younger end are into apps, aren't they? So I've had a week building an app. I haven't quite finished it, but I'm getting there. It's quite good. I'm quite impressed with it, considering it's not something I've done before. And it's looking okay. I just need a couple of more tweaks to get it going where I want it to go. And then I'll put it out for somebody to come in and say, well, yeah, that's okay, but do you think you could make it do this instead of that? Do you know what I mean? So I'm in the building stage, and then next couple of weeks or so, it'll be into the testing stage before I send it out to whoever, because I've got living relatives that I know of, because there's a few that I don't know of still. But living relatives I know of, there's 197. So really, evening, baby. I hope you're well. Yeah, so really, I've got nearly 200 people who I can get interested, hopefully, in getting onto the app and getting in there and seeing about their history, their family, because I do know lots of people. They all say it. Oh yeah, do you know anything about this and that? And yeah, I do. And then, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it really, but anyway, so that's my thought. Build a little bit of an app, get the kids interested, and get some interaction. And it's a bit like Facebook started, isn't it? That was his thought on Facebook. Get friends together who can talk to each other, that type of thing. I'm not talking about making a bloody Facebook, but pizza, lovely. Yeah, do you know, Bibby, I can't remember the last time I had a pizza, mate. I do like an occasional one. I'm not that over the moon about them, but I like a nice pizza. My favourite carry out or takeaway or call in or whatever you want to call. I don't know what you call them. What do you call these things? Pizzas, fast food. My favourite fast food outlets are Chinese. Yeah, so Noxy, very naughty. I'm glad you said that because it gave me a chance to laugh because I wasn't gonna. But I have now. So I've blown it, haven't I? You shouldn't laugh at other people's misfortunes. I do hope it's getting better and you're feeling okay and you haven't broken anything or done any big damage. So there you go. Yeah, right. So where was I? I don't know where I was. Yeah, I'll come off that subject. I could talk all night about my family history. Well, before I can tell you now, I've started using AI, and people kept saying, "Oh, you want AI? You want AI? Get this thing." And I kept sitting back thinking, "Bloody hell, can't be asked with that." And yet, it's absolutely cracking. I love it. I talk to it like it's a brother. I call it Joe. How sad am I? I'm calling Chat GPT Joe. Hey Joe, what do you think of this? Anyway, Bibby, did you get your result back? Are you French? Oh, you could be French then. You could be from French Huguenots. 4% Viking and 2.5% Jew. That's about right for that. Noxie, what do you want the link for? For a test? If you want a link for a test, decide what you want the link for first. Decide what you want to use the test for. Do you just want to use do you just want to use the test to see your heritage? If you not your heritage, your I don't know what they call it. You know, like I'm 100%, I'm 50% English, 10% German, 8% Jew, 4% French, and yeah. So, Bibby, depends which company you took your test with, gives you back not big differences, but there can be big differences. I did my test with originally. I've done two tests, one for the X chromosome and one for the Y chromosome, because I wanted to find my father. So that was why I did the Y chromosome. And I did the X chromosome with Ancestry. And that came back saying I was 49.9% Danish or Viking. and English and Welsh, a little bit of Scottish, and then I did my Y test with my heritage, and when that came back, my my breakdown was 42% Danish. So there was, between the two, they both had the same spit, basically, or whatever it is. I think one was a spit test and one was an ice lolly test thing in your gob. Can't remember what you call it. Like the police do, where they stick the thing in your mouth and go like that. And yeah, cheek test. And it came back with 2 different breakdowns, and that's because Ancestry do it one way to their database, and MyHeritage do it another way with their database. So it all depends. And I've forgotten who I was talking to now. Who asked? Let me go back. Yeah, Noxie. It all depends on what you want to use it for. So there you go. If you just want to use it to find out who you are, look for the cheapest. And I'm not sure about the cheapest at the moment, but you normally find good time of the year now, because it's Father's Day. They'll be all on. They'll all be on. Get your dad this for Father's Day, and it'll be cheap, I presume, because that's normally what they do. And I'm just going to have a quick look, and I'll tell you if I can figure out how to do it. Yeah, here we go. So if I do that one and go over here. Right, MyHeritage is £33. And Ancestry is £39. So, 39, 40 quid. And as I say, it all depends on what you want. If you want to use it to trace your heritage, you want to do a tree or whatever like that, you want to be going for Ancestry DNA. That's if you want to trace your tree. And the reason you go for Ancestry DNA is because if you have your test done on Ancestry DNA, you can download the result and you can upload it to the others, like MyHeritage, FTDNA, 23andMe, all those type of places. Whereas if you have your DNA done on MyHeritage, you can't upload the result into Ancestry. They'll only accept their own Ancestry. You used to be able to put it up there, but you can't now. So my honest opinion would be go for Ancestry. Yeah, like I say, baby, it depends what people want. Some people want it just to find out how much Jewish heritage they've got, or how much French heritage they've got, or whether they're actually Germans in disguise. Because we'll have a few out there who are Germans in disguise. But some people do it, to find out stuff. But you never know. Later in life, baby, you might just decide, oh, yeah, I wonder if I could see who, you know what I mean. You've done it, and you've got the opportunity to use it if you need to use it. So there you go. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, who was it? Noxie who asked. Was it Noxie or Clary? I can't remember. Anyway, whoever asked, Noxie. Yeah, so Noxie, you want to be going to ancestry.co.uk, and that's your best bet because they're all much of the same price, and you've got more things you can do. There's more things you can do later. You don't have to, you don't have to have the the intent to be using it. But you never know. Later on, you know, when you get, I don't know how old you are, Noxie, but when you get round to my age and you sat scratching your ass all day long doing that all, well, you know, you might be able to just go online and do a little bit of, ooh, who was he? Paul the Hat, good evening. And nice to see you, mate. And Kelsey will pass on your regards because she speaks to him quite often. So I presume, Paul, that you know when he gets out. He gets out in September, mate. So just in case you didn't know, he's got, I've forgotten how many days now, 89, I think it was, to do. There's too many Pauls in this bloody chat because every time I say, oh, hi, Paul, I think it's me, and it's not, is it? Everybody calls me Grandad. They don't call me Paul. But there you go. So, yeah. V, good evening. You haven't missed anything at all, really, because there's nothing to update on. And, you know, the basics of it is, if you don't know, is in Lindholm at Doncaster. And you can email him if you want. And he comes out in September, just in case you didn't know. But that's just putting it up so that you can actually see. If you do want to email, that's how you do it. Up top there, I'll tell you. So anyway, not saying you have to. I can't remember who knows and who doesn't know. So anyway, that's his current standing in his life of crime. So there you go. This to do, we're getting few. So where was we? Can't remember where we was, but I know where I am. I'm sat on this bloody chair again. Is Bobby still in the chat or not? If he is, look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I'll say that now, just in case you don't bother to turn up. So there you go. Yeah, I don't think there's any more I can update you on because well, I can update you on his bed because apparently he's got the best bed he's had since he went in. So that's one result, and I think he's got access during the week to a laptop, so he can actually get his emails and reply to them. Whereas in the other two prisons, when he was in, if you sent an email, sometimes it took like 3 weeks to get to him, because I think they used to use it as a naughty stick, if you know what I mean. But there you go. Anyway, it's up there. If you want to, anybody wants to email him, tells you how to do it. I think it does anyway. I'm going to read it as we take it, yeah. So you need to use the email a prisoner. It's called emates, I think. And that's email a prisoner. And when you go in, it costs you to send an email, by the way. It costs 68 pence if you want to reply. If you don't want to reply, it's 48 pence to send him the email. But he appreciates all the stuff he gets, and of course must remember that emails or mail or whatever, things like that, is all can boost your the word was in my head and I can't remember what it is now, but you can boost it. You can boost your mental well-being, you know, when you start getting excuse me, when you start getting correspondence, it's you can get a bit of a kick from it. So there you go. And I presume it's nice for him to hear from people on the outside who are giving him an update on what they're doing. And, you know, I don't know what people write, but there you go. Just blathering, really. Yeah. So, I don't know if anybody's interested, but I presume people will know that at the moment it's the under 19. I forgot what you call it now. Under 19 European Cup. I think that's what they call it. It's what England won the last time. So England under 19 were the first team since 1966 to win a tournament, and they played this afternoon. Not very well, mind you, but they played. They didn't lose, and they played Germany on Thursday, so that'll be a good match. But saying that, tonight at 8 o'clock on 4/7, Channel 4/7, Germany are playing. So I presume that will be a good match. So anyway, yeah, there's matches all week through. It's a bit like, what do you call it? It's a bit like the World Cup, but it's not the World Cup. It's European under 19 Championship. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, if you're interested, it's on all week. It's on a bit longer than all week, but they're playing across in one Eastern European country, and I can't remember which. But yeah, so that's the football. Not going to say anything about the tennis because I hate tennis. It's like watching paint dry. I think I'd rather gouge my eyes out than watch bloody tennis. Nearly as bad as watching fucking darts. What a shit game that is, darts. How can you get all up about darts, for Christ's sake? Yeah, he scored 120. Oh, God. Anyway, that's me. I always tell everybody, you know, I can watch any sport, but now I'm thinking about it, I can't. Because I certainly don't watch darts. I certainly don't watch tennis. And I don't watch croquet. Well, saying that, I don't think they put croquet on the television anymore. They used to when I was young. I can't imagine they do nowadays. But anyway, you know, I do like watching sport. I'm not a sporty person, though. I couldn't run about kicking a bit of leather about for 90 minutes. I couldn't do it for 90 seconds, no mind about 90 minutes. They're saying that I couldn't run. Not the state I'm in. You can't run with sticks, can you? I don't know. I might give it a go just to see. Anyway, let's let's get back. Nearly as bad as me talking to bloody chat GPT, this, isn't it? I'm talking to that chat in the stream. Yeah, baby. Yeah, time is flying. We know time's flying because I can remember sitting here and saying, "We'll soon be down to double figures." Well, at this bloody rate, we'll soon be down to single figures because it's just whipping by. I'm trying to work out where Paul was thinking of going. But there you go. Yeah, Paul, just off the top of my head, if you're interested in his music, you do know. I don't know if you do know, but on my channel, I have. It'll come to me in a minute because I can't remember names. I have a playlist of, I think there's about 30, maybe 40 videos of music that Chegs has done, and it all ranges from when he was on the radio down in Marbella, all the way up to just before he got banged up. So if you want to listen to them, they're there. They're in my channel, and there is a playlist called Chegs Music Legacy, I think it's called, and they're all there. Some are well worth listening to. Well, I presume if you're into his kind of music, they'll all be worth listening to. But I'm not into his kind of music that much. So there's only some that I think are worth listening to. But I do play a couple in the background, when I'm sat. Because most of the time I have my Alexa playing music in the background, and but sometimes I play the music from me that Chegsy did, and I presume you'll all know that Chegs is Levi is LK, and trying to remember what he was called on his radio. Can't remember the name now. Oh, he was called Levi on the radio, I think. Anyway, you go through lots of names in your life, don't you? Well, you do when you're younger, I suppose. I haven't. I might have gone through 3 names, I think. Levi Logic, Kelsey. That's it. Thank you, Levi Logic. When he first started off doing DJing, when he was a young lad, he called himself. There wasn't a Levi. He just called himself Logic, I think. Anyway, that's his history, not mine. So yeah. So lots of people change the way they change their names. Now, I've always only had one name, basically, and one nickname. So if anybody's been in the army I won't need to tell them what my nickname was, because everyone with my name was called the same name. But I have been called quite a lot of things in my life. Some I can repeat, some I can't. Well, you all know I have a dirty mouth, so I could repeat every name I've been called, because I've been called some crackers in my life. But there you go. That's just me. But yeah. Do you know, my mind's just gone blank. I don't know if you saw there that a white thing came down over my eyes. Glaze. It just glazed over. And you know, where the fuck am I going tonight? Because my head's gone straight over there. I don't know what it is. But anyway, folks, it's been nice chatting, and I know I can be a bit of a boring old fart, but you know, if people don't put anything into the chat that I can bounce off, well, you know, that's me. Is that another Paul that's just come in? Paul 46? Or was you in earlier, Paul? No, Paul the Hat earlier, wasn't it? Paul 46, good evening, mate. You don't have to apologise for anything. There's nothing at all that says you have to be in at 7 o'clock. Nothing. So I appreciate everybody who comes in. I appreciate everything in the chat. Sometimes I get carried away with some things in the chat because I think it's for me and it's not. Because it looks like every third person in the chat is called Paul. So there you go. So I do get a bit mixed up. So just before we end, I'm just going to give you another run over the update thing, if you know what I mean. So above my head is running the how to email, where to email, and if you want to email, it costs you 48 pence and 68 pence to ask for a reply. And I think he's got 89 days to do one. I might be wrong on that one. I think he's got 89 days to do. So the days to do are getting few. And he's at Lindholm, as you can see from that thing above my head. He's in a joint cell, and his cellmate's quite good. He's lost a couple of stone while he's been there. And apparently, he's got a hell of a tan. Don't know how you can get a tan being locked up in fucking prison, but he has. Well, there you go. So, and I don't think there's anything else. So, yes, Kelsey, it's not long to go now, sweetheart. Looking forward to it. So, thanks for coming. If I haven't mentioned your name, I do apologise, because as most of you know, I can be a bit of a scatty twat. You know, I lose the track sometimes. So, just remember, if you want to listen to his music, cross on my channel. Playlist is Music's Cheg's Music Legacy, I think it is, or Archive. I can't remember now. Anyway, there's a bloody thing in there for you. And tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, me and Bobby from across the other side of the county will be on at 7 o'clock. Well, I'll be on at 7. He might just pop in around about 10 past or something, just in case. And we'll have a bit of a chat there. And sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it can get a bit heated, because, as you all know, I can get a bit strung up on, especially politics and stuff like that. So thank you for coming. Just remember, down below if you haven't. Click the like. That's a like. If you don't like it, click that. It don't make any difference whether you like me or whether you don't like me. One of that or that. It all helps. And live long and prosper. Take care. And TTFN.